Morning, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Lair. If you guys were here last week, I'll touch a little bit on what we discussed and get into today's topic. Obviously, I think the biggest thing for us this week is finalizing and finishing up on FOMO Cup. So, team's very excited. We're obviously praying and hoping that one of our lovely holders win this jackpot. So, we got one final game, which obviously the finals. And after that, the winner is automatically drawn. I don't have a time stamp as far as what time the winner is going to be drawn, but I will get you guys that information once I'm known to it. Other than that, it's been such a crazy busy week on my end. We had a good couple team meetings this past week, just on direction and you know narrowing down the opportunities that we have to stamp something in the ground for our next move. And I think for us, this puts us in a really good position, especially with how FOMO Cup turned out. I think, for us, the the main thing was getting a true gauge on, how far our reaches as a team and, what we needed to or what we're gonna need to improve on. So I think we got the information we needed from that. And I'm very excited to kind of get on to the next build for the team. So but other than that, last year we or last not last year last week we discussed the AMA and the AMA about total control and where Jirasan is now from a team standpoint, who's in charge and who's responsible for making sure that things go well. So we have a good opportunity as a group, as a community, but it's going to take everybody kind of kicking in, right? So we're going to need a little bit more participation or activity when we have these type of meetings. So I'm going to challenge the group when you guys hear this or when you guys get to listen to this to really start to prioritize these Sundays AMAs because this is where you get the opportunity to create a larger bridge for communication. And I think if I act as if it's okay to not assume that these things require holders to pull up, then I'm just lying to myself. So that's my challenge. I'll start the space off with that because I do want to see more heads in here as we move forward. Not just a show activity, but also just to be able to communicate different ideas and thoughts, for current topics. So on that note, like I said last week, we talked about full control. I want to make sure that I reiterate this that since day one, I've never intended this to be a CTO or anything in that nature. I've experienced the true peak of what this community is able to do, and I'm a firm believer that the current team that we have focused on Jirasan's community is something that one we've never had before in the past, and two, the best opportunity for our holders to really dive in and develop the atmosphere that they want to see. So um, I went over last week as well certain builds that our team has already created over the course of our existence as a group, right? And this was actually 2 weeks ago, but that works and that helps when the team understands what the community wants, right? And in order for us to stay on point with that, um, it requires our holders um, to participate. So that's my challenge to you guys. As we continue to do these AMAs, I do expect to see more people pulling up, and I don't just want to be giving away things to have people pull up. I think the challenge for us as a group is to really show up. And once we do that, and once we begin to do that consistently, everything else opens up. So for today, I wanted to discuss, you know, future opportunities and kind of give you guys a landscape of what makes us so excited about the future of not only just Jirasan, but just the overall Web3 experience. Um, Like I said before, I'm a big believer that networking is the number one thing you should be focusing on in Web3. And I say that because a couple reasons. I think over the years, many of you guys have noticed most communities that do well, their teams or their founders are tied into just about every single possible group you can find. That shows a lot too when there's new whitelists that are coming out. Does your community get picked? Does your community not get picked? Part of that is also a side effect of the community or a side result of the community showing up as well. So that's why I wanted to start this space off by challenging you guys who are listening to this or who are here to really motivate or really suggest to your other holders, at least to the community, that these Sundays are not required, but are something that should be appreciated and should be respected enough for you guys to pull up. On that note, I want to just dive into what's got us excited, and where we see this opportunities really benefiting the Jirasan community. So one of the main things that I discussed with the team was just, and we had a long conversation around this, was the fact that you know we get to a certain point of ideas, and then being able to bottle these ideas into opportunities for us as a group and as individuals, is that Web3 is limitless in that sense that you really can test things out. Okay. Um, I told our devs in our last meeting, these guys have so many great brainstorming ideas. The hardest part is funneling it down and actually executing on completing these ideas into reality, right? We've discussed, obviously, many people have asked what's going on with the female NFTs that we had planned out. Obviously, we tried working with the artists, about half a year ago, and it just didn't work out, and it just wasn't worth continuing to add another, 20, 30 grand for the art. And then it was still taking, just communication was a week before every response to a DM. So that part didn't work out. But we have discussed different things that we can do, either with those NFTs or other avenues that we can explore, creating new NFTs. And this is almost as a piggyback of different things that we've seen started, whether it be the strategy token, whether it be agents working for the holder. And we're just seeing a lot now that I think encourages us as a group to really test and try these different ideas. And these opportunities are only going to get amplified as the years go on. There's a lot of talk on, are NFTs dead? Do we have enough buyers? And again, this is a viewpoint from my perspective that I believe create a lot of teams to not do what they think they can do. And a lot of that is tied into teams or groups or builders that don't see opportunity, and that's not necessarily the stance that I have in the space. Actually, I'm very optimistic off of the things that I do see. And I want you guys to really, this next week, after you guys listen to the space, I want you guys to really open your eyes a little bit and start to imagine things that you guys would want to see completed from the team. There's uh there's this space, and I think I brought this up last week, but there was this podcast that I had listened to, and let me see if I could just find the title of it one so I don't chop it up. But I was listening to this podcast, and it was more around the fact that action creates strategy, right? And I don't think I touched this. I think I brought it up, but I don't think I touched on it. But this is actually the perfect time for it since we're discussing opportunities and why Jirasan's team is excited. A lot of, like I said, a lot of things that are discussed from many teams never get put out, never get completed, never get finished, right? And that has a lot to do with the fact that most people believe brainstorming these ideas are going to formulate a strategy to action. And I think it's actually in reverse. And I've challenged our devs to this idea because I've gotten firsthand experience to see the ideas that these guys come up with. And in Web3, a lot of people keep things close to chest because there's such a lack of trust and because there's many people that are looking for that next idea that maybe they haven't thought of, maybe they think is going to, spark lightning in a bottle. And a lot of these things never have the full potential to actually become anything other than just an idea. So like I said, I've challenged these guys to really hone in on 2 to 3 things that they think they can build. Why? One, because I trust them and I trust their perspective. I think the builders on our team really have their fingerprints in Web3, from degen ideas, long-term investment ideas. Um, and now that FOMO Cup is wrapping up, the next thing for us to do is really to align us with things that we're building. And like I said in the first AMA in week one, the team has shown that they've been able to do that and that they're capable of doing that if you just look at, the Jirasan website. But also now, today, right, we also have Robinhood that created their own chain. And I mean, do we need more chains? No, right? But at the flip side, this shows me that there's still a lot of opportunity. Excuse me. And I think we can actually look at one of the projects that are actually doing really well today, Stonkers, which is a project by Simple Farmer that's paying out their holders, in money earned from their token, so from their NFT. And I won't get into too big of a specific because I haven't read enough on it. Um, but it aligns this kind of like finance world to blockchain tech, right? And this is something that I'm a big fan of. I think many people are looking for something that can generate them revenue without them having to do too much, right? Like that's the life of Web3. Everybody's trying to find that out. But I don't think many teams have been able to truly accomplish that. We do have this. I think might be the first full experience like this as far as what the project is trying to do, what it's capable of doing, and what it's completed so far. And it's getting a lot of people excited. So um, the reason why I'm pointing that out is just because your imagination is useful when you're able to execute on the ideas that you come up with. So I want to challenge the community. I want to challenge our team to really just believing in yourselves and as far as the team goes, and for you guys to really challenge us to create different things and different ideas and bring things to the table that you guys might want to see. I'm not saying that every single idea gets built. I'm just saying that having a plethora of ideas gives us the opportunity to maximize what we have currently. And the current team that we have, we've never had the abilities that I think we have here. Other than a contract dev, I think we're able to pretty much build whatever it is that we want to build. And this is a very powerful thing for a team to be able to say. FOMO Cup was a reflection of this. This was an idea brought to life from our guys, and it's something that has done really, really well, and something that has the potential to do even better. If we actually focus on the marketing a little bit better, which like I said last week, really falls on me. But also expanding on the idea is an opportunity for us as well. And at the end of the day, we do want to put things out that do drive revenue back to Jirasan Treasury. And I know that this is a topic that I brought up last week, which isn't the only reason we want to be building things, but creating that idea and executing on an idea is only going to generate more bridges and better networking, right? Which brings more ideas and more opportunities. So I really want you guys to understand that action leads to strategy, and it's something that I've challenged our guys on. It's something I want you guys to feel like I'm challenging you guys on as well. There's so much going on right now with creativity, and a lot of things fall back on not on one, is it feasible, is it possible to build, right, which eliminates half of our competition, and then just coming up with the idea itself, which many people don't want to take the time to do, so a lot of, and you see this with every chain that comes out, right? It's every chain has a CryptoPunks. uh many projects are just replicated on every single chain, because people really don't want to come up with the idea, so that eliminates some of our competition as well. And for Jirasan to be in a spot where we can do whatever we want to do from a building point, we want to funnel things so that we're not just vaporizing liquidity on these ideas as well, and making sure that they align with what you guys believe in, so that way we have a good jump start for these things to have a supportive group and a supporting cast. So um, that is kind of what I wanted to chit chat about for today. I know. Hold on one second. Good morning, Zazo. Nice to see you around. Um, MIT, good morning as well. And I know that, like I said, money isn't the only motive for us to want to build things. But again, we want to build as many bridges as we can. We want to network as we can. And in order for us to hit a couple of the goals that we spoke of last week, which at the end of last week's space, what I told you guys is that in a year, judge me on two things. Did we earn the trust of our Web3 peers, and did we earn the respect of our holders? In order for us to do that, we have to build, and I've emphasized this with the team. We don't want to get stuck in the mud. We build something good, and then we disappear for 3 months. Um, and this is a big challenge for our devs because it requires them to stay active, um, which is easier said than done when you're the person that's speaking and marketing everything, and you're not the one coding everything, right? So I have a good laugh because I know I know they have a chuckle when I say, you guys, let's just build anything that we can think of, or let's continue to build, and they and I know they want to say, Mike, Master, you're the one that it's easier said than done. So I challenge you guys to really bring up topics or bring up ideas that maybe you guys might like, or maybe you guys might want to see, our team focus on and build on, and really bring them to the table. Other than that, I hope, has everybody here been able to play FOMO Cup, just out of curiosity? And Zazo, where have you been? Yeah, I haven't seen you in a little while. I'm actually very happy to see you, bro. How is everything? Are you doing well? How's the family? Oh, I know. I know. Nah, that's totally cool. That's totally cool. I think that's the case for most. I think that's the case for most, but we're trying to kick things into gear for us here, so it's good to see you around. Well, I'll tell you what, one ticket for FOMO Cup might be a game changer for you. And you got good luck. You have good luck. That's all right, bro. That's most people feel this way their whole life. Zazel said, "No clue what I'm doing." Yeah, and most people feel like this their whole life, so that's all right. You're on the same boat. But yeah, if you haven't, I'll give you a quick rundown. Zazel, FOMO Cup was a platform that we built for prediction marketing or for market predictions for sports. Oh wow, you're in a full out growth hack right now, growth period. Good for you, Zazel. Good for you. I'm sure you'll find exactly what you're looking for, bro. Yeah, you will. Man, I'll get a little bit deeper in this convo. If yeah, I could get deep on this convo, but yeah, action leads to strategy. I'll probably say that's probably a good fit there. So continue to act on your gut feelings, bro, and it's gonna bring you where you need to be. So no stress on that. I'm happy to still see you around. Yeah. So we um we want to also let me also touch on this topic as well. Because I seen the question still asked throughout the week. You know, where the founders going to be? What's up with them? The founders are going to be in the background, allowing me to do what I need to do. And then also allowing me to leverage their networking a bit as I have to get myself, more involved and into rooms that I've never had access to. So going forward, like I said last week, you guys, any questions, anything that you guys might have, just throw them my way. I'll be taking care of just about everything on that front end side. While our team works on developing, the next opportunity for us. So the one thing that I'm excited about is that we had such a good response for FOMO Cups platform. Naturally organic, I think the two ETH that we started the pot with was the investment for that rather than us paying Coles and us doing this. Um, it was enough, I think, that attracted enough attention. I'm still getting DMs. I've gotten a few DMs actually for people who have discussed this platform with outside Web3 individuals who actually all want to buy tickets. Which I got another DM last night about it, but um, people in IRL wanting to be able to jump into this platform and the platform actually allowing myself to have conversations about Jirosan with Web3 people who have no idea about Web3 because market prediction is something that runs the world. I think we see this every day with these sports athletes getting arrested because they've been fixing games with betting, right? Which is crazy. And the fun part is you're betting points. So it's not that you're putting a dollar up for every bet, but it creates that competitiveness and that desire to want to win for our competitors, man. And shout out to everybody that's man. Some of you guys have some crazy win streaks. Um, I tried my best at FOMO Cup. I think I'm like the bottom 10, which kind of sucks because I'm not like I haven't won the that category that Groot started for FOMO Cup, which was like biggest loss for the week, which is crazy because I've lost everything. I don't think I have any more points. I gave up all my bets last week, and I think I'm gonna buy a few more just for the finale because I'm going all in. I think this is Messi's week to win the World Cup. So we'll see how that goes. But whoever ends up getting drawn, an early congrats to you. I think right now, pot is sitting at 2.77, and obviously the winner gets the full pot. And I'm just praying that it's a holder, somebody that we can celebrate with, and maybe a couple Girasans taken off the floor for some excitement. So we're excited as a group. We're excited to see these opportunities that are continuing to trickle in. Seeing a new chain, obviously isn't as exciting, but seeing the possibilities and the creativity that we're seeing that I see in the past couple of days with a buddy of ours, Simple Farmer, who was on an AMA with us a few weeks ago. Discussing Pixel Pups, right, and the World Cup tournament that they started as well. If you guys remember, right before we started FOMO Cup, we had a couple AMAs on X. And he was there and enjoying a good convo with GD and I and with the people that pulled up. And yeah, we were skydiving sandbags. Yeah, the conversation was crazy, but my point is that these connections and these opportunities only get bigger when you network. And that was a good circle moment for me to see Simple Farmer have a very successful launch for a new idea that he came up with, right? Um, and he has other things that he's built as well, right? Clutch markets. So like, there's just an opening for us as a group. And I told you guys my background before, which was in financing, right? I've discussed with some of you guys as far as where I think we could be taking things as far as product wise or investment wise, and um, seeing the excitement for Stonkers is huge. It's another nail in the in the coffin as far as being able to create opportunity. So we're focused right now for this week, and I'll wrap things up as I don't want to monologue too much, but we're focused on creating these opportunities, and we are looking for live events, specifically, realistically, in the U.S. So if you guys see anything that might be popping up, we'll be keeping an eye out. But for sure, this year we want to get our team to a live event to begin to brand Jirasan within the Web3 community a little bit more than what we've done the past couple of years. We want to be able to rub elbows with people IRL. We also are looking at ways that we can put our brand in front of people that are not Web3 people. Um, Youth athletics is really what I'm honed in on right now. My son was able to compete in a world national tournament um, for Ninja Warriors, basically, right? So to make it easy for people to know what it is, and going there and seeing this event, there was over uh, I want to say 2,600 competitors that participated from all over the world, uh, and the opportunity is only going to grow in that sport. And I was able to discuss with one of the team leads for FINA, and I'm currently working on setting up an appointment or a meeting with these people so that we can get Jirasan we can get Jirasan in front of those people, have a logo, and we can participate in some of their live events by having booths and creating the tie, for our IRL connections and networking, and giving us opportunity to put ourselves in a position where we have revenue opportunities as well, right? So I don't want to dive too deep into that because there's nothing concrete on it yet, but just to kind of give you guys a glimpse of what we're looking to do and how we plan to market ourselves to a bigger audience. Um, for me right now has a lot to do with youth athletics. So I'll leave that there with everybody here. But like I said, action leads to strategy. It's a challenge that I discussed with our team this previous week, and something I really want to make sure that we're living by. There's a few ideas that I think I might start to drop on the next AMA with you guys in here, just to discuss some feedback and some thoughts on um, what else you guys might want to see built, and what other opportunities you guys might want to see. But for the main part, we understand where we're at currently. We got a good gauge with FOMO Cup as far as how far in we are with some of these groups, and how much work we have to do with others. And like I said, earning the respect of our peers is also very important, just as much as earning the respect or earning the trust of our peers, right? Being able to get into these rooms and be able to be in these discussions that create more networking opportunities is important for us. And also, obviously, the most important thing, the respect from our holders, is most important. So these are the two things that I'm focused on for this coming up year, and something that I think um, we all want to be able to say that we're proud of Jirasan. So we're on the ball with that. Next week, what I'll do is I'll gather up um, a couple ideas that we've been discussing with the team. I'll probably drop them here in the AMA. And if you guys have some feedback that you guys want to give out to us or to the team, things you might want us to work on or possibly build, we're open to that as well. Other than that, for the FOMO Cup finale, if you guys haven't made your picks yet for the finals, please do. If you guys haven't bought any tickets to join into the raffle, please do. One ticket's gonna win the full pot. Full pot currently sitting at 2.7 ETH. Um, and I can actually before I go, what I'll do is I'll let me give you guys a couple stats just to fill you guys in on what we were actually looking at. So we were close to about 500 registered wallets, roughly about 120 active players. We hold on one second. Okay. Yep. So we're closing in on close to about 500 active registered wallets. Um, Close to about 100 active users. We've had, let's see what else we've had here. Yeah, we've had over 1,700 total place bets. Let's see, over 1,000 FOMO tickets issued. So like we're seeing the engagement that we wanted to see. And then over 100,000 FOMO points currently held across all players. So that's big for us. That tells us that participation is doing well. That we're seeing a lot of participation from users and that people are visiting the site, utilizing the actual platform. This is huge for us. I think before we started this project platform, I should say, a big thing for us was, do we have the reach to really get engagement? And that was a big thing for our team. So I think, and I keep reiterating this to our team, is that we really have the best mix that Jirasan has actually ever had. And I'm saying this from a standpoint of being here since 2022, very early, and utilizing everything that we've built. My biggest benefit was our Maxis program, platform. And it was something very simple. And it's something I brought back up to the team as far as like seeing if we can bring it back or build our own thing. Because although, loans and borrowing off your NFT really only matter when your floor is up. I think it was something that allowed us to sustain a higher floor as well, because our whales were able to earn some interest and earn some extra money for parking their money, in the NFT, and the people that needed liquidity for whatever reason were able to benefit off those loans. So it was like a two-way street for everything. But my point is that we currently have a team that can build it out, and those platforms that we were using before, we had to outreach to create it, right? So we don't really have to do all that with the current team that we have, other than maybe like I said earlier, contract devs. So I want to challenge everybody to follow up next week, bring some ideas, bring some thoughts, um, and I want everybody who pulled up today also to open up a ticket. I'm gonna drop something for the wallet for you guys participating and pulling up. So open up a ticket, drop your wallet. I'm gonna take care of you guys, shoot you guys out of Jirasan for participating in today's space. Other than that, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. If you guys have any questions, follow up with me, shoot me a DM. Next week, what I'll do is I'll probably brainstorm a little bit on a couple ideas that we've been thinking about executing on. If you guys have any questions, like I said, feel free DM me, open up a ticket or tag me in chat. And other than that, you guys, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. I hope everybody enjoys and gets to watch the finale for the World Cup. And good luck to everybody who is participating in FOMO Cup next week when we talk. Somebody will be 2 point, maybe, who knows? I don't know how many more people are buying tickets before the finale, but somebody's going to be a lot more richer than they were today. So kudos to whoever that is. I hope it's one of us in here. So other than that, enjoy the weekend, you guys. Have a great week, and I will talk to you guys next week on the Lair.